Alright, back in the old garage today. Here we go, working on the passenger side door on the 51 Ford. I'm still doing the filming off of my phone for now. I was messing with the iPad earlier. Figured, you know what, this is probably easier for now until I really figure out that iPad and how to do a good video and good quality and things like that. So today we're going to try to do more work here, well, actual work, instead of doing background story and things like that on the previous video. So what I've done so far is I've taken this old section of the bottom of the door on the inner, because you got your outer skin, then you got your inner structure. So what I did was to make sure that I get almost the proper length, is I took a section of the bottom of the door that's still good, and I put it on the existing door that's here so I can get the proper length on the bottom. And this corner is still pretty good, so I'm keeping this corner too. And I got this all measured out. It's right before it starts doing the curve on that 90 that it does on the bottom. So what we're going to do now is we're going to give this a couple tacks, and then we're going to start setting up the rest of the metal around it. I might end up, once I get it all set where I want it and looking good, I might cut this back out and re-add the metal that the new metal to what's here. So alright, we're gonna lay some tacks down. The welder that I'm welding with is Eastwood MIG 135. It does flux core and it does, you know, regular MIG with the bottle. The bottle 75% argon, 25% CO2. I got a 125 bottle right now. I'll roll it over here so you guys can see. So push this here. There we go. So here's the Eastwood welder here. And we're going to set this up and we're going to do some tacks. Make sure your ground's always on, of course. Got a lot of bare metal on this door, so that's good. Alright. The MIG 135 from Eastwood is a good, you know, at-home hobbyist, as long as you're not doing anything like trying to build a frame. I would suggest something that may be able to give more penetration. Saving up for a good, I think I'm gonna go with Miller, but who knows? That's all in the future. But for now, I got a pretty good setup here. This does all I need for now. So I'm gonna put the power on this and fire it up. Open up the bottle. I only go to about 8 to 10 psi output through the nozzle here, because you don't need anything more than that. You'll know when you don't have enough gas on it, because it'll make craters in the weld and things like that. So make sure the welding wires at the right speed, everything like that. I'm set at this machine here. They do numbers for the speed of the wire and letters for the intensity and heat of the arc. So I'm set right now with the wire speed at 5, and I am at D, and it goes all the way up to J on the heat. So I got the magnet set, I got it spaced out. I did a couple measurements off key points to know that I'm actually in spec with the length of the inner skeleton of the passenger side 51 Ford door. What I did was, came over to this door, of course, you know, this one's the same as the other one. Opened this up, took a measurement from the door handle and a couple other like holes that I know are the same on this one, like that bigger hole over on that side is the same. So we'll go off of that and we'll go off the door handle. So the start of that circle is 23. And the door handle is 22 and a half. So we come over here. Always check your measurement before you start welding, you know. You don't gotta take all the shit back. So we're at 22 and a half exactly on the handle. And we should be 23 over here. Yep, exactly 23 on the start of the circle. So we are in the proper place. This is the proper inside length of the door. So now that we know that that's all good, we do some tacks, and then we go from there. Let's check her now, make sure it's clean, and try to find a good starting point where you know the metal is meeting up to the other panel surface evenly. So I'm going to start here because it feels pretty good right here. Put your fingers over it, feel it, you'll know. You'll know once you level. Alright, first tack, here we go. Everything's on, everything's good. Yep, always make sure. Okay. Okay, now that I have those tacks where the magnets are not, now I'm going to go one by one. I'm going to try to get pretty close to the magnets and continue a couple more tacks. We're going to do at least 15 to 20 tacks here. This is the biggest gap right here, so here we go. Create yourself a little bridge there. And we are good on the welding for now. So I'm going to close my bottle. Stir off. Put reverse side for now. We got some room, because we don't have much room. But we're doing what we can with what we got. Now that that's out of the way, take this one, that tank. Alright. So, now we have this tacked, and we're on our way to start putting this door back together. Just want to say a couple words here. Thanks for tuning in again to the channel. We'll be doing videos as much as we can here. Hope to really start putting a lot of content out there. The whole point of this is to build as much cars as possible within a reasonable amount of time, and to do it correctly and not hurry. All this is, when I'm not out here, I'm thinking about what I can do, what's easier, how can I do this, how can I do that. It's all a game plan in your brain of what you need to accomplish and how to accomplish it without too much headache. Simplify it into your brain as much as you can. Everybody's different. And try to get the thing built in a reasonable amount of time. So we have the inner that was made, not too shabby, but not the best quality, but it'll do for what we're doing here. So got the one end, and we got the other. Put this up, and we're gonna lap it for now, so we can see exactly where we are, and we will adjust accordingly. So put that magnet on there, I guess, and we'll come back over here and we'll put this magnet say about right there. Okay, and this one about right there, and we'll move this one right here. No, I can't do that. There. No. Okay. Get a couple more little magnets so it stays upright. We'll try it. There we go. Do that. She don't like it. She doesn't like it. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take a couple of these bad boys and clamp them. We don't got to worry about trying to get the magnets around here. Clamping. There we go. Alright. Now that we have our piece kind of in the location where it's going to be, we can see what's all going on here and what we would like to do here. So, I can see on this side that we're at the proper length here. And that's good because we have metal to work with, so we can get a perfect edge on this. This is gonna work out well. I remember doing this on I did this before on a Dodge Ram. It was like a 92, and the guy wanted to just refinish the whole thing. So with us being in Chicagoland area, Illinois, kind of in the Salt Belt, a lot of rust during the winters. Cars rust pretty bad. Not too bad, but pretty bad. I'd say if you had a new car, after having it out on the streets for after about 5-6 years, even if you're doing all the proper coating and everything, you're gonna find some rust spots here and there, especially underneath the chassis. That's why, once salt hits the ground, I put almost all the classics away. I always have one where, the thing was gonna go to the junkyard, and that's something that I'm gonna end up driving year round. But that's later down the road. So with that, being said, with us being in the salt belt and everything, this is pretty much what occurs. And then, you gotta worry about rust and things like that, which, gotta do what you gotta do. Grab myself a quick smoke.
Order in the court. The Honorable Judge Cutler presiding in the case of why you should listen to Thursday mornings on 96.7 The Eagle versus all the other morning shows in Rockford.
This is looking real nice. We used the shrinker stretcher to get this curve. In future videos, I had a video on it, but it got all lost, I guess. I never recorded it, so still learn the process on the recording thing. That was on the GoPro, but it ran out of storage, is what happened. So, alright. Got that looking good. So the next plan of attack here is going to be fit this up as good as possible, as good as we can, cutting out what we don't need, and then we're going to weld it together, and then we're going to have an inner fucking panel. So here we go. First thing I don't think I like is
ZipRecruiter's powerful technology sends you candidates who are a great match for your job. And you can even invite your top choices.
we're gonna lap this for now. See, sometimes you gotta lap. Nothing wrong with lapping.
You can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com.
I'm gonna cut these corners down so it meets this flush. Same thing on this side. We'll cut that, and then we'll put it back up. And since we do know that this is the correct spot, I think I'm gonna end up getting rid of this panel here again once we get this packed up, and then I'm gonna put all new where there is none, or save this and cut what I made out to fit what is here to save more of the car. Do I need the holes for the trim? No. Is there any rust in this panel? There's a little bit here and there. All about picking your poison. That's what it's all about. It's all, every little decision. Every little decision. You can think about it for hours. So what we're gonna do a little bit of cutting here, and we'll figure that out later. So I'm gonna take my Sharpie here. I'm gonna come up behind the panel, and I have clear vision of where I need to cut. We're gonna cut there. Then all we can have there. So then we'll go under here. Cut along there. And it's going to get loud pretty soon because I'm going to have to use the grinder. So, just so everybody knows. Always have magnets. Magnets are amazing. I love magnets. lines marked. 1, 2. Safety wear on. PPE. Alright. Make sure we don't spray the other car. That's why I got this divide here. Used some wire, got some welding curtains, hung this baby up. Now I don't have to worry about any sparks or anything going to where I don't want them to be. So we're gonna cut this, and I'm gonna come over there, I'm gonna cut that, and then we'll refit it, see how it looks. Cut this side. A lot of guys will take 2 grinders. They'll do one with a cutoff wheel and then one with a grinding disc. I don't have that luxury yet, but you know, it's a good idea. I think I'm gonna end up purchasing another one, and it's always good to have a backup anyway if one dies. So I'm gonna end up doing that, I think. So now that we got these cut, what I want to do is I want to freshen up these edges. I want to make them look, you know, crisp, so there's no leftover metal that you can get cut on or that's going to interfere the 2 panels butting up together. Now we got that. Make sure those are in there. Okay. Now we go back on with the hammer. And there should be pretty precise. You know, I noticed that this is overlapping here. I think I'm gonna end up just cutting that, but we'll wait on that for a little bit. We'll get this thing back fitted up because there might be a couple other little things that we need to cut as well. Alright. Get this baby where it needs to be. Light pressure, I'm just trying to keep it up so you know it doesn't fall. Gravity's a motherfucker, of course. Pretty good. Move this one down. Finish the I think it needs to be. Pretty good. Alright. Grab my magnets, put my magnets here on the new panel a little bit. We're not quite matched up here, and it's okay. Put that there for now. We're going to be doing a lot of little bendings and little cuts and things here and there to make sure that this gets the best fit it can have. See, I know that this panel needs to go up, as you can see on the existing metal where the profile of the door is. So let's get another clamp here. We'll clamp it up where the panel needs to be. Use my smaller ones for the outers. Leave my bigger ones for the inners. When I need it. So I can tell right now that this needs a little bit of shaving done. I'm going to grab my Sharpie again. And I'll go on the back side of the panel once more, make sure that I've got the right profile here. And then you're at the proper length on the bottom of the door. That moved up. Okay. So, really, it's just a little minute amount here that needs to be shaved off. So we're going to slowly shave it off and keep checking fitment. Because we don't want to take off too much, because then it kind of defeats the purpose of what we're doing, right? You can see that doesn't line up. We'll shave a little bit off there. And we'll do some more shaving here. Do a refitment. Okay. It's gonna be a lot of fitting in and taking apart, putting back together. That's what's gonna happen today. So it's gonna be slow moving, but we're definitely moving. Okay. Clamp back on. Try to get it where you think it needs to be. Really, I should put little marks on these holes so I can line up these holes every time and not really have to do any guesswork. So that's what we're going to end up doing in a little bit. Alright. For now. A little more repositioning here. I would say we got a little bit more I want to grind off right here that I see. We're going to give that a quick grind with the grind.
Tractor.com. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for detail. Operating May 1st, 2023. Small business owners, we know finishing your to-do list can feel like climbing a mountain, but that mountain is also covered in banana peels. Then when something new gets added to your list, you're like, no, I'm already climbing this huge super slippery banana peel mountain off a to-do list. At Progressive, we don't want to make your day any harder. That's why we make it easy to manage your policy on our mobile app. So climbing that banana peel mountain feels more like a leisurely stroll.
I can see from the weight of this clamp, it actually brings the door down. So you got to remember that. You got to compensate for all of this, or else it's not going to line up correctly. So we're going to take our smaller clamp, we're going to clamp it where it needs to be. We might even have to add some metal here. Maybe. This needs actually come up a little bit. Okay. Check our profile real quick. I like that. We're gonna this clamp got a lot of length to it. To get into it, a panel. I know they make those really long clamps. I'm gonna have to get some of those too. All right. Clamp this. You know, by clamping this, it actually makes the profile go back where it needs to be, which is awesome. We're going to crank down on that. We're going to get her laying where she wants to be.
It's Double T. U.S. Cellular has some great news, especially for you.
Okay.
Person listening to this radio commercial.
Like that.
Right now, you can get one line with unlimited data for just $29.99. So unlike other cell networks, you don't have to pay for lines you don't need just to get a good price. Get one line for $29.99 with unlimited data today. U.S. Cellular, built for us. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com
Now
for
we're
details.
down a little bit here, so we're gonna bring this up.
Yes, you. None of y'all told me that Auto Trader has millions of new and used cars that I can
Pretty
shop
damn
for.
good.
I thought we were friends.
Let me get a clamp on this outer here.
No one told me that with Auto Trader.
Oh, we're gonna do that yet.
Cars to my own.
I have these. That might work.
That friendship you just learned we had officially over. Finally, it's easy.
This hour brought to you by Randy Palmerian Subcontracting.
Barely, but it might.
We get it done.
Maybe. Then you want to check to make sure you got the right profile over here. Put it in. Do it. Pretty decent. So we got a little lap here, which is good. We can take a little more. But this inner wants to do this. So if you watch, you think it's in too much, but really everything has a flex to it. So this will actually come out a little. So gotta keep that into perspective as well. Okay. Shave a little off here. We were getting closer and closer to where we don't have to add a lot of metal, which is great. So I guess we'll do some marking. Let's get this a little more situated. I want to get it exactly where I want it. Do some marks on it. Check to see if I need to cut anywhere else. And then after we got that taken care of, then we can tack it into place. But it's all about trying to get to the perfect length and profile that you're looking for. Yeah. Okay. Right there is where it wants to be. So. Alright. Got a little more shaving to do here. We'll mark that off. Which is, all this falls together, and you're like, wow, it's actually working out. But sometimes it's not that easy. But metal's always manipulative. You know, you can always manipulate metal. Always cut it, reshape it, re-weld, work it, you know, all that shit. The cool thing about metal. Okay. One more shade in here. There we go. Alright. Put it back up there. Ooh, it's lining up pretty good. Here we go. Ah. Okay. bit on this door that I want to shave. Take the grinder. I'm gonna take the panel and just give it a little space because it's just a little off. Yeah, better. Get it in to the position where it needs to be. We're still gonna probably have to take that bracket and weld it back in. But I think definitely gives that profile there too. Alright, now our next plan of attack. I like where everything is. I'm thinking that I could weld it in and hammer it into place and then do a couple of cuts here and there. And I think we're good. I think this is it here. Huh. And you gotta make sure that when you weld this in, it's correct. So we're gonna tack it. And tack it up, and then without the hinge on and the bracket, when hanging it on the car, just to make sure that the bottom will go where it needs to go when the door is shut. Because if I weld all this and then the door don't shut, then I gotta cut it all back out and re-weld it in. So I think that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna grab the welder and we're gonna start welding this thing in for real. But only for now. You know, this is temporary if it doesn't fit the way I want it to. Alright, so we'll take our welder over here, on the door, turn this baby on, mask out, turn the gas back on, okay, we are good to go. So, where do we weld first is the question. We know we want this profile on this door, and we are like perfect right here. And once I got that welded, I can squeeze this in, and then we'll be like golden. So I think I might even do it like that. So we'll check the profile one more time. And I think I want to give it a little more than what she has. Okay, we're going to do our first tack. Alright. That's the first one. Now we go do the second. Now the best place I see where lined up the best is probably going to be right where it came up. Makes a lot of sense. So we're going to remove a bracket. Now we have to compensate upward and outward and still hold it. So you put your arm down. Right there. Okay. Check. Sure that profile. No, I don't like it. Can we lift it? Yes, we can. Now we're ready to tighten. I'm gonna grab the cutoff wheel. I'm gonna go right in here, and I think I'm gonna give myself a little room for doing a little butt welding. But let's pull a hammer in here. I think we'll just make it. And this panel is crushed in, so now I got a existing panel crushed in. And if I hammer it out, how it should be, it should go line up things come together. It's crazy. Alright. I wonder if I can take this off and stay. Maybe. Because I want to straighten all this in here. Because why not? I make it look as good as possible. Got less body work and less fucking around. Okay. Get this pin. Do the same. Make sure you're on the flat surface. Okay. Now, when I do a weld, I'm gonna try to hold this with a clamp. Now, which one to use, you know? Go back to this bad boy. Try to get them muting up. There we go. Alright. Still want to do a little hammering on this, so see if we can get away with it without that clamp coming loose. Oh yeah. Got a perfect seam. Perfect seam. Let's get you guys down here and so you guys can check it out here. Now we're going on an hour, I just noticed. So I'm gonna give you guys a look and then we'll probably end the video here and we'll go for part 3. So this is what we got so far. Make sure that profile is perfectly met up. Okay, see that? Nice. And then we got the bottom of the door, and this is the old metal that we rescued, and this was the existing inner. So I tacked this to make sure that I have the exact distance that I need, which this metal isn't too bad, but the only thing that's concerning is there is a lot of surface rust underneath the paint, and I did find that. So maybe we just continue this cut here and just leave the existing metal protected as good as we can. So then we got here, still gotta put some metal here, make this look all nice. I'm gonna cut all this and really do a really nice patch here. Like this whole thing will just get brand new metal. We might just do the whole thing just to do it, why not? And then here I got this tacked perfectly where it meets up. But if you can see, this is where the striker was and this is where the hinge was. So all this metal here is kind of pushed in and recessed. So what we're going to do here is we're going to end up getting the surface of this metal to this metal perfectly lined up. Then we'll take this and we'll cut it so far and go up, and we might cut that out and do the framework, get the hinge in there. But before we do that, we'll end up fitting the door first before we do any like real you know, finish welding or anything like that. Because we could be putting this up and finding out we have to recut everything back off. So let's hope not. This is Wayne Schmidt, also known as Von Wayno in the custom world. Everybody's got their nicknames, so I adopted that a long time ago. So that's it's the handle name. Part 2 coming up shortly. We'll talk soon.